Make sure you unmute your mic, because I can't do it for you. And here we go. Boom, we're on. All right, cool, man. It's Chris with Bama Law. We're back again. I got an interview today with a guy who's been through literally I'm gonna try to keep it clean just so people can watch it that are on the YouTube spectrum for being offended. You've had your life ruined, damn near.
Oh,
That'd
yeah.
be right.
Correct.
And you're, just for the other legal stuff, I'm not your lawyer. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm not giving legal advice to anyone else. I'm only licensed in the state of Alabama to practice law. Practiced for over 12, 13 years. I've lost count. Mostly criminal law and domestic. And this is just an interview, hopefully one of many, where I get to interview people that, in addition to myself, have been completely bent over the barrel and ramrodded by the system. All right, Let's get started. Who are you, and what? Let's start at the very beginning, when you got married, etc. And so people know this is a domestic case. This is what we call in Alabama domestic relations court. It is a circuit court. That is where the divorces are handled. This is where equity is supposedly performed in Alabama, because we don't have an equity court. Tennessee has a chancery court. That's a court of equity. They handle divorces. So I just want people to understand. I try to do that. That's what makes my videos a little long, is because a lot of people just go into it and don't give a description of what the hell's going on. And, if you've never been in it, you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. Let me get my camera set. There we go. I think it's better. It's still an ugly face in it. I'm good. All right. So tell me about yourself.
Yeah. So my name's Clint. I live in the greater Birmingham metro area in Alabama, and I've had ongoing litigation of some type since 2019.
Okay, so not terribly a long time. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'd call 6 years a long time, but
yeah, for one case, that is, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was that for the original divorce?
That's from the original divorce to the custody to today. So that kind of includes everything.
Okay. All right. So when you had your divorce, did they? And again, I'm gonna have to explain it for people. Judges now. It's changing. They didn't usually like to do this, but did they bifurcate your trial? Meaning, hey, go ahead and just boom, divorced. You can move on. We'll deal with the property and children at another hearing.
No.
That's typical. Yeah. That's what took so damn long. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mom wanted a trial because she wanted money. I advised her, hey, we need to settle this and everybody move on because it'll be better for the kids. But no, Mom just wanted money. She wanted money. She wanted money. She wanted money. And so what ended up happening, we were on a temporary order.
Did she want money, or did she just want to beat you?
You know what? In actuality, I think she just wanted to put on a show. She needed attention from someone and a validation. And we'll get into her attorney and their law firm.
We can name them all. I don't give a flying shit. I am not here to protect another lawyer firm. I don't care. Take me to the bar. I don't care. I have a right to say it. Don't be an asshole, and you won't get called out. Okay.
Yeah, the irony is, Mom is trying to get me held in contempt when she is the one who has ignored the judge at every turn.
Who's the judge?
William H. Bostic III in Shelby County.
All right, and just so people know, Shelby County is south of Birmingham. It's the county literally right below Jefferson, which is the county Birmingham City is in.
That's
technically, no, it's not in. It don't run over into Bessemer. It runs into the Bessemer Circuit, I think, their jurisdiction. Anyway, doesn't matter. So it's Bostic was the judge.
Correct.
All right. Yeah, I've been before him once. I don't know about twice, but damn sure I know I have once. I try not to I'll try not to make comments on judges. Just because I still practice and I don't want to have to go before them and go,
Right.
I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. Please don't screw my client. I don't want to do that. So do you think she wanted money? I mean, that's in the end. I think when most people go into the divorces, they want, and I'm gonna say, well, it's not always possible, always the case. Well, most part, it's a f you, f you. I want to win. No, f you. I want to win. I want it all. And you get a.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, you've been married 5 years. You're not getting alimony per statute. You got to be in 10. I'm sorry. I want alimony.
So here's the funny thing. When we got divorced, I had just recently started a new business as an insurance agent. I had a retail office. I was about 15 months in. So the whole thing, it wasn't making any money yet.
Okay. They never do for 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And mom works as a nurse, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, made really good money. And so she starts threatening me with all these things and how I'm going to have to pay her all this money and how I'm going to have to give her alimony and and I just tried to tell her, no, you're not. You make more money than I do.
Yeah. How long were you married?
17 years.
Okay. So you were, okay. Alimony could apply, but I doubt not what she's wanting. Okay.
Yeah. And so I just told her, you need to settle this. Like, we'll do 50-50 on the house. We'll do standard visitation with the kids, and we'll do child support in accordance with state law.
Right.
Because Alabama's got the spreadsheet just like everybody else.
Well, not everybody. While you're talking, I'm gonna go ahead and pull. I'm gonna pull the CS42 up, so we'll know.
And so anyway, she just is bound and determined that she's supposed to get 75% of the house. And I
don't know.
I told her,
a nurse.
I told her, like, that's not going to happen. Judges in Shelby County have kind of a standard rubber stamp divorce decree.
Yeah, they do.
And so I just told her, like, that's not going to happen. Yeah. But no, she wants it. She wants it. She wants it. So we ended up having to go to trial. We had a trial. I think it was 2 days, if I remember. Totally useless. Totally wasted.
Shit show.
Yeah, wasted everybody's time. And then we waited almost an entire year to get a final order after the trial.
A year?
A year.
Is this I pulled up, let me go back. This is a CS42 in Alabama for child support guidelines. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Okay. This is what we use. There is just so people know that are there, believe it or not, there is an app in the iPhone store just for Alabama to be able to figure child support. Boom, 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 boom. Because it's got a matrix. It sucks, but it's got a matrix. And this is it. Now, this can also be completely forgotten. You don't have to use it. You can have a private agreement on the side that says, I know he's supposed to pay $802 a month. I get it. But he's a drunk and he's a bad dude. Whatever. He can afford about $300, and that's all I need.
Yeah.
You can agree. Fine. Judge signs it. Hey, she's stuck with it until she modifies it later. So, but I wanted people to be able to see this is what you do. You have the monthly gross income and the number of children. You list that there and how much the income is minus pre-existing any child. There's a lot of mama daddies out there, so they have pre-existing child support. Minus alimony. Then they adjust your income, and all they do in court is, I don't know what the hell. Look at this number 13. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, that's bizarre. I've never seen that. You just go through the form. It's simple. You just go through the form, use the matrix, boom, you're done. You get it prepared. A lot of times this is done in court before there's even before we even had a decision from the court or anything. This is it. Especially if you don't have a marriage, man, it's just child support. That's all it is. One hearing, you're done, and you're out. That's it. So I wanted to make sure people saw that, and if that was, make sure that was the one that you used. Okay. I'm sorry to have interrupted you. Go right ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah. So after the trial, we waited an entire year to get a final order. Like, and so
It's a long time.
yeah, and I mean that's egregious. Like,
it's more than a little.
If you have a standard rubber stamp divorce decree that you're using across the board, and that's what we ended up getting anyway. Yeah. Like, to take a year to sign that is just,
well, there's no excuse, but the judges do it because they don't give a shit.
Yeah, and nobody's going to hold them accountable either.
Nope, not one of them.
Yeah, and so that whole year, you know, I'm in limbo, mom's in limbo, the kids, most of all, were in limbo. Their whole lives are upended and disrupted, and nobody can move on because there's $100,000 of equity that's just sitting there. And you know what? Sure enough, at the end of the day, the judge ordered almost exactly what I had offered. I had offered mom in the beginning.
That surprised me because that's pretty much what they go through. I mean,
yeah,
you have states like Commonwealth of Kentucky where they do a little bit different. It cannot be over a certain threshold, and child support cannot go over a certain percentage of your gross income per month.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really. I mean, Alabama really doesn't give a shit. They'll nail you. I've seen guys get nailed for half of their damn income, over half, and it's like, well, how much? They don't care. They don't care if you're in a truck sleeping on the side of the road every night and showering at a truck stop. I just don't care.
Oh yeah, I lived in my office for a while. During that time, while I was just waiting for everything to get wrapped up so I could move on. And you know, I needed that money to reboot my own life, recapitalize my business, and to be able to pay her what I owed her. And you know, it was just locked up for that entire time. And you know, then the order comes out, and it's exactly what I had offered her in the beginning. So you know, Mom wasted everyone's time, hers, mine, and the kids. And just didn't care. I mean, could have settled. This whole thing could have been over in 60 to 90 days. And we're 5 years in, and it is 100% because mom has never, ever listened to the judge.
She could have done it in 30 and had a final order after 45 days. That's it. I mean,
easily.
No contest divorces. I hate no faults, but I mean, shit, I can get it done in less than 30 days. It's filed and done, and once it granted, 45 days, it's a final order. You're done. You can get remarried after so many. You know, I think you have to wait 60 days post the order or whatever. But but yeah, so it took you a year just to get the damn order.
Took us a year to get an order.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And you know, that. So that was.
I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing. It should not take that long.
No. So that's my first experience with the Shelby County court system, and I don't know what to call it. Neglect, dereliction, whatever. But
it's both. I mean, and you know, it kind of explain things to people that, and not all lawyers know it. I actually had pretty close relationship with a few judges that I never, those that I were friends with, I never practiced in front of them except for, there was a few times where I had to. If I got friendly with a judge, I normally, I would conflict it and say, look, it's just, and they would do, hey, like there's one now, Judge Page in Calhoun County. I couldn't go back there and go to court. We'd have to conflict it out. I'm friends with him. So, but I have seen their computer. I tell people they have valid court too. I know you know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And it must be that long COVID. That's a bad joke. And they have this Alicourt. They pulls it up, and man, it's got a listing of all their court cases, all of them, and they'll either be, I think it's green, yellow, and red. Yellow means, dude, you haven't done something for 30 days on this case. You got to have something done. and this is
Yeah.
coming from AOC, the Administrative Office of Courts down in Montgomery. If it hits red, that means 90 days or more has gone by. There have been judges. I had one of my first cases out of being a baby lawyer in Montgomery. She got removed from the bench because she was literally sitting on orders of divorce. Cases were done 7 years long.
Wow.
They just needed a signature. These poor people were just not getting their divorce.
Yeah.
And weren't like it was an amicable divorce. Couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. They didn't care. She didn't care. And they only this is where the JIC comes in, the Judicial Inquiry Commission, which is another fucking joke. They did nothing. They gave her a suspension of I think it was like 30 days without pay. She got reinstated, had a baby. I call it the parent and baby supervision, where a retired judge comes in, holds her hand, teaches her for 30 days.
Right.
And then here she is again. And so, yeah, none of this surprises me, but people don't, in defense of the judges, sort of, they know when they are doing something wrong. It's in the system. It tells them flashing.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's a problem. So I apologize for interrupting, but go ahead.
Yeah. You're good. So that was divorce. And, of course, the temporary order that we had for that year was incredibly vague in a lot of ways. No real allowance for holidays.
Why not? That should have been standard. That's like a candy or cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't in there. Mom did all kinds of stuff during the temporary order, whatever she could get away with. Interfered with visitation, just wouldn't bring the kids.
That's also a charge.
Yeah, funny enough, contempt doesn't matter as long as you can
alienation. Oh, the hell, it's not supposed to. I've argued it many times. That's a rule Nisi.
Yeah, so I ended up filing a rule Nisi. I gave Mom every opportunity I could to do the right thing.
Oh, let me get. Sorry, see, we're going to get ahead of people. We know what it is. No one else does. A rule Nisi is a stupid Latin term in Alabama used for a show cause.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, it's a contempt. You can do it as you pay the filing fee as a rule Nisi, but you can call it contempt. You can call it whatever you want. It's to ask the court to issue a show cause order that the parties be brought before the court to sit there and go, why the hell aren't you doing what I told you to do? And
right.
If you can't explain it, like me, when I had mine, hey, you owe her $10,000. No, I don't. I don't. What are you talking about? Yeah. And so here's your warrant. So that's how that should go. So you filed the rule Nisi, and then what happened from there?
From there, all hell broke loose.
Why?
Is the best way I could describe it, because Mom had no excuse, and I was holding her accountable for something.
Okay.
So,
so you're saying all hell broke loose because of her or the judge?
Oh no, because of her. Because of her. So all of a sudden, in response to my rule Nisi, she filed a counter petition.
So this went from like something that could have been settled as a no-fault divorce, okay?
Yeah.
To literally a full goddamn trial.
Exactly.
Wow.
So what happened was, and this is a hallmark of a certain brand of litigation.
Oh, say it, brother. Preach it.
And this is lawfare 101.
Yes.
There's nothing honest or ethical about it.
No.
Really simple issue to solve. Again,
disbarment. That's how you solve it. Is a disbarment.
Yeah.
Not a suspension. I know it's and I've told general counsel at the bar, you have to disbar these people. They only care about the IOTA account being short. They don't give a shit. They just don't care.
They don't. And I'll name names. Roman Shaw at the state bar has literally said, we don't investigate lawyers really unless a judge says they did something wrong.
Unless you're, That's partly true. Yeah, yeah.
Partly true.
I'm gonna cut him some slack because he's a good dude, and I know what he was saying. Unless the client sends us a bar complaint, it don't go nowhere.
Yeah,
It's just not.
exactly. So
And that's
anyway,
because they've set it up that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just totally.
So anyway, all hell breaks loose. All of a sudden, we have to get a guardian ad litem involved.
Of course, that's 125 an hour.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, we have a parent coordinator involved.
Wait. What's a parent coordinator?
Nobody knows what a parent coordinator is. Okay, so Roman Shaw at the bar did not know what a parent coordinator was.
That's because they don't exist. I don't know.
So it's another, usually an attorney, sometimes an approved, therapist, whatever, to mediate intermittent disputes.
Yeah,
no, exactly.
No, that's just
exactly.
No. There's literally nothing in the rules. GAL, there's a whole freaking rule section for those guys.
Yeah.
There is nothing for that. Is this Bostic's creation?
No, it's not Bostic's creation. It's a thing that Alabama courts do.
Huh.
But it's like, it's probably, and here's the problem with it. Bostic's order gave this guy carte blanche, full authority over all of my kids' decisions.
That's what a GAL.
Exactly.
So people know what we're talking about. That's why I wanted to do 3 interviews of this, because I know it's going to take a while.
Yeah, and we'll get to my kid's attorney in a little bit.
Bingo.
Even they had issues with her.
Yeah, this is not normal. The GAL is a guardian ad litem, and it's just an attorney that is supposed to be there to. I was one that is to be able to apprise the court of the kids' issues that they're having, if they're having any issues, and to represent them because they're minors. Not anybody.
Right.
Okay, fine. They get paid. The problem is, for your average criminal defense work through, we call them hemorrhoids, OIDS or OIDS, you get $70 an hour for an appointment. GALs get like 125. Don't know why. Couldn't tell you. And you're not supposed to have direct communication or ex parte communication with the judge. It's just like any other lawyer. Well, guess what? They do it all the freaking time. The judge is like, well, what do you think? Do you think the kid should go home with the dad? He's just representing the kid's interest, Judge. He's not. This isn't a tattletale session. So I wanted people to understand what you were talking about with the GAL. So we've got a GAL, and we have this, I don't know what the hell you call it. What do you call it? Parental coordinator.
Parent coordinator, yep.
Okay.
And really, the name of the game is clog the pipes with as much stuff as you can, antagonize everyone so that you can win your case.
Or make money on the back end if you're one of these parent coordinators.
Make money. I will say, and I don't have a lot great to say about the guy, because he really made more problems than he solved, but he did wiggle his way backwards out of the case and declined to bill for his fees. So
how much was he charging?
I forget what the hourly rate was, but you can think about 3 years worth of litigation that just gets delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed.
Oh God!
How even the small stuff racks up. Probably several $1,000s.
And the losing party is saddled with that cost.
Usually, yeah, but he at least had enough integrity to say, and he said this from the bench. Wow. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not," or from the witness stand. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not charging anybody anything." I think
a good dude. What's his name?
Keith Brasher at Brasher, Brassfield, and
I know Johnson. Who that is. I know who you're talking about. There in Birmingham.
So again, it's what Mom did after the fact, rather than just answer the show cause. Hey, why are you withholding visitation? She had to just spend 3 years and 40 grand trying to manufacture a case after
How
the fact.
much?
About $40,000.
Holy shit! I know I said I wasn't gonna cuss, but
Yeah. Well,
who
it
spent the
happens.
40? Her or you?
Well, basically what she was doing with the child support is every dime of child support I gave to her, she ended up spending on her own attorney to prolong litigation.
That has nothing to do with okay.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole thing is contrived. She's got to try and create a case out of nothing after the fact. The kids get jerked around, confused, frustrated, angry, hurt, whatever. She doesn't care because she's got to get off the hook somehow.
Right.
And even my kid's therapist has said, like, hey, the thing that's been causing the kids the most problems is this court stuff.
Right.
And I'm trying to.
Let's talk a little bit about the therapist. Did anybody ever talk to you about? This is getting sidetracked, but the American rule.
The American rule, no.
Yeah, about attorney's fees.
No.
Almost every state I know has adopted them. Louisiana's Louisiana. The American rule is basically you pay for your own ass. That's it. Which is, in a way, it's not right because if somebody runs over, I don't know, runs their car into your house and then says, "Screw you, I'm not paying you. I'm not rebuilding your house. I don't have insurance.
Yeah.
I'm done." Well, I shouldn't have to go hire a lawyer to go get the money and then pay the lawyer out of the damn money.
Right.
That's how in England, you get to go in and, man, you get your attorney's fees. That's the English rule. It's the old common law rule. No, in the 70s, they had to fucking screw that up and do the American rule. Pay your own way, except in certain circumstances. Even in divorce court, it applies. But a lot of the times, the judges will say, well, I have to, I've got to charge the attorney's fees because equity says I do. And it's like, no, it doesn't. So I'm kind of curious with the 40,000, and it is a carve out in the rule where judges can do this, which is, if you go to any other case in any court, you're just, even Johnny Depp's case, if you remember it, when he won, he didn't get attorney's fees.
Yeah.
He just had to pay them, which is stupid. It's like, well, if I get 2 million and I spend 1.5, but my damages are $1 million, I just lost. Why am I even doing it?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, she spent this 40. At the end of the day, did he come back to you and say, you get to pay the 40 for insurance or for lawyers?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think
because she had, Chris, she had to spend all this money on the attorneys. And any reasonable, rational person would say, no, you didn't.
Yeah, no, just settle.
All you had to do was show up in court after I filed my petition and show cause. Like if you had a case, you had a case 3 years ago when I filed my petition, you could have brought it then. You didn't have to do any of this.
Right.
And, turns out like all she's done is torture the children. And
she's probably histrionic. I wouldn't be surprised if she's not borderline personality disorder. A lot of people that do this shit have mental disorders.
Well, funny.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's stick with what you were telling me. I'm sorry, because I'm trying to go by notes.
So anyway, the whole deal is mom can't be found in contempt for anything, even when she's in contempt.
Why?
So we have to, because fraud is not only encouraged but incentivized.
All right, how is it incentivized? Tell the people how that's working.
Yeah, so I will. There's this game that lawyers play. It's like who can be the first one to get a restraining order put through.
Yes. Okay.
And so we've got all the sorts of stuff. And I had a false.
You talking about a protection from abuse order, or are you talking about just a general restraining order?
Protection from abuse.
I knew it was coming. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. And
Yeah.
whoever
People don't know. Sorry to interrupt again.
no, you're
People
good.
don't know
You're
this
good.
shit. That's an ex parte proceeding. If anybody has watched the YSL trial, which I ended up, it's kind of why I started doing this. Yeah, the whole Judge Glanville thing where he held Brian Steele in contempt and basically said, well, if you don't tell me who told you that I had ex parte communication with the witness, you're going to jail. No, you freaking A. You can't do that. You can't talk to even the damn state. You can't talk to one party without the other present. No judge should be making phone calls, and they do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Being that said, that's ex parte. So this, what he's talking about, that's a protection from abuse order. It's temporary unless it gets heard and sustained. They file it ex parte. It's granted because they err on the side of caution.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think your hearing's 15 or 30 days from the date of filing. And then you have to come in, you get due process, so they call it. And then that order goes into effect for a year and can be renewed, but only for so long. So I wanted people to know what the hell it even was, because it's a big freaking deal. PFAs, you can't buy a gun. You're on essentially a red flag list.
Yep.
You have a right to buy a gun unless you're a felon. You have a right to exercise that amendment authority under the Constitution. You may get barred from going to a country, believe it or not, like Canada. They can say, nope, that would have been a felony in our country. But it's just an order. It's not a criminal charge.
Right.
They don't care. So you get this PFA. She goes and gets it. I can almost tell you right now, without you telling me, she got it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and even after the fact, my attorney, even the guardian ad litem herself, who filed the thing, said that it was agreed after the fact that it was over the top and it was a knee-jerk reaction.
By Bostic?
No, by the GAL. And look, let me tell you about the guardian.
Wait a minute. The GAA, he filed it, or she filed it on behalf of your kids?
Filed it on behalf of the kids.
Holy.
Then after the fact said, yeah, that was too aggressive.
Oh my God.
So and just real quick, while we're on the topic of GALs. So the guardian ad litem, and this happens in a lot of cases, I've learned. The attorney for my kids had just been raised to the bar the year prior.
Okay. Damn.
And what I've learned is with a law license and a 6-hour class, you can be an expert in representing children
and destroy lives.
Yeah. And so what happens a lot of times, and again, I've got a whole community and friends and parents who are going through the same thing. What happens a lot of times is you get these brand new lawyers straight out of law school who
they'll come in and fuck up everything.
Yeah. They're not making any money because they can't get clients yet.
But they get that $125 an hour.
Yeah. So they'll get on the GAL list so they can get paid.
Right.
And
judges have little favorites, by the way. People don't know that. And judges say, oh, no, don't bullshit. I was on it and I never got chosen. One dude was the only one who got the cases.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Now, and he was a good GAL. Now, just in case he's watching, dude, you were good. Not a problem. It's just the issue is they need to rotate the list, and they don't.
So anyway, it was really clear to me.
No, you were going to say something about the GAL. I'm sorry.
No. I was there. It was
a baby lawyer.
It was really clear to me that she was kind of in over her head already. Didn't know exactly what she was doing. Kind of outsourced her own responsibility to the parent coordinator. So we had 2 additional lawyers show up in the case. Oh my
God.
Yeah. And so you know, but you've got four lawyers at this point, a judge. Nobody knows what's going on. My kids least of all, and no wonder they have problems, right? Because you've put so many cooks in the kitchen that nothing is happening.
Right.
Um, but anyway, my kids had issues with the guardian ad litem. My attorneys had their own issues with the guardian ad litem. People didn't really trust her. People didn't really think she was doing her job. But because she was appointed by the judge, you
Right.
can't say anything about her
Well,
because, the judge assigned her. And so the judge must know what he's doing. So, you know, there's this kind of like,
I don't know, man. I would have said it.
well, I would have too. But I think there are a lot of lawyers who just are that
They're
subservient.
scared. They're
They're scared.
scared. Yeah, they're
And,
scared that it'll piss him off and then it'll screw your case and tank it. Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
And then, which my 2 cents, like, I don't care if a judge gets pissed off. I need a judge to make sure the law gets adhered to and make sure the right thing gets done. Like, whether he's angry about it or not,
It's
like,
irrelevant.
irrelevant. Yeah. Like, the judges are supposed to be relatively objective.
Yeah, that's not the case, unfortunately, there, brother. Damn.
So anyway, two more years, 3 more years of just delay. We've got 2 more lawyers involved. Everybody's billing hourly. We have to go get a psych eval because, and mom is trying every trick in the book to find some reason to take the kids away from them.
Damn.
So
yeah, she's wanting to win, and we're back to the I'm gonna win, some bitch. I'm gonna win.
Exactly. And so you've
At all
got
costs.
the fake child abuse allegations that I had to fight,
Oh,
so I don't actually abuse the children. So that went away. So, but now there's something mentally wrong with me. So we had to go spend $7,000 on a psych eval to
who
find
was it?
out.
Who was the? Who was the? Because I know you didn't see a psychiatrist. I know
Yes.
you. Was it a psychiatrist?
Yeah. Kim Ackerson is her name.
Is she a therapist or a psychiatry?
So she's a psychiatrist and pretty well known.
Okay. I know
She's
the
one of
name.
the, yeah,
I didn't know
she's
she
one of
was
the
a psychiatrist.
handful in the state that I think is qualified to do some of the stuff she does.
Wow.
Um,
At least you got a real doctor, because a lot of these people go to, and there's nothing. I'm not bad mouthing the people that do it, because there is a need. These licensed social workers, licensed counselors, or whatever, they're not a psychiatrist. I mean, they're not even a psychologist. There is a difference.
Oh yeah.
And if you're going to do something over your life and your kids' lives, damn it, you should have to be, just like you can't have a paralegal come into court arguing stuff. It's damn near what it is, because most paralegals, if they've got 10, 20 years experience, they could come into court and make a case. It's not complicated.
Right.
But I mean, we just don't allow it because they don't have the education, and neither do these people. So, you're lucky you got somebody that was at least a real doctor. Thank God.
Yeah. So we did go to a real doctor. We found out from the psych eval. This is one of my favorite quotes from the psych eval. She actually wrote that I was frank, forthright, and rational.
That's funny. You remember that right off the top of your head.
Yeah. Well, everybody, mom is trying to make this case that there's something mentally wrong with me.
I remember when you were going through the last hearing or whatever. So I remember there being issues that she was trying that even to the day, the last day of, you were involved.
And so, yeah, psych eval says that I'm frank, forthright, and rational. The psych eval says that
keep talking. I got to get me something, a drink real quick. So keep.
Okay. Yeah. So the psych eval says that the kid should have visitation with me, and the psych eval says that, we should have reunification therapy for the kids who mom was withholding for visitation. And, the reunification therapy is something I had been advocating for 2 years at that point. I think maybe 3. My timeline gets all messed up, and mom had just refused. And so now mom wants the psych eval. We get the psych eval.
Okay, there we are. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I was talking to nobody. I'm an idiot. I didn't have myself added. Who
Gotcha.
was doing this? This I, this is a new one. This what do they call it? Re what?
Reunification therapy.
What the? All right, who was doing that?
So her name is Rachel Lawley, and I will say I've had overall really good experience for her with her.
Okay,
She is a licensed professional counselor here in Birmingham. I believe she's a really good person, has a lot of integrity. Uh, I think by the time it finally got done, it was like maybe too little, too late. The kids had just
sure.
been too conditioned and
Yeah, they
corrupted.
had how many years? 5, 6 years?
Yeah, I mean, total five. The custody stuff has been. I filed in 2001, so you're looking at almost 3.5 years.
2001 for custody. What did you just say? You just said 2001. I
That's
thought
when
you
I
had
filed. That's when I filed for custody, if I remember
or
correctly.
20. You're talking about 2021.
2021. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, you said 2001. I was like,
my
wait a
bad.
minute. You said you're divorced in 8. That's a long damn time. That's a lot
Yeah.
longer than a couple of years, man. Okay, cool.
Um.
All right.
So anyway, the at the end of the day, what mom did is just try and drag as many people as she possibly could into the middle of everything, made a mess
And
of,
drive the cost of everything sky high.
drive the cost of everything sky high, ruin everybody's lives, and hurt the kids, hurt everyone, disrupted their lives.
Didn't disrupt hers, apparently.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
She's
It was,
she's been fine
yeah.
the entire
Yeah.
time. Um,
You said she's a nurse?
yes.
Well, I'd hate to be her damn patient because my guess is, and I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, blah, 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 the same bullshit everybody says. I don't, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just making an opinion. In
Right.
my experience as a lawyer, doing a lot of criminal shit and I've done a lot of domestic. Um, People that act this way, that most people would go, oh, she has no, she's either they're narcissists or they're uh, psychopaths or whatever. It sounds
Mhm.
like she has borderline personality disorder. I'd hate to be her patient. It sounds like she treats you like shit regardless.
She kind of does that to everybody.
That's yeah.
Um,
That's yeah. Does she
and
have a when you were married? Did she have like an identity issue? Like who if you ask somebody like who are you, and when you think back to high school, and you've got one kid who dresses for a few months as a goth kid, another one is a grunge kid. Same kid becomes a grunge. They can't figure out who they are. It's like
yeah,
kind of like that.
she will kind of absorb the identity of the people around her,
Bingo. That's
if
them.
that
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
That's what they do.
and so there's and because I know she has a lot of trauma from her own childhood. Um, I think a lot of it is due to that because she was alienated from her own father by her mother.
Oh, and it
Um,
does repeat, man.
yeah,
It
and I'm
does
and I'm
repeat.
watching her repeat the pattern with my own kids, and it's like what what what's difficult for me to watch is like even she knows that there's something wrong at some level, but just won't ever get. Um,
No, that's normal. I think that's normal. My
um,
clients with even manic depression, I'm fine. I'm fine. And then they think they're, I don't know, a week
mm,
later they're caught by police running naked through the neighborhood, screaming at the moon, saying they're a werewolf.
right.
I mean, literally, I had a guy that was literally doing that, and they dope him up with Haldol and get him back to Earth, and it's like, oh no, I'm fine. No, man, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
I think that's typical though, a lot of psychiatric illnesses. But and I mean, look, we're neither one of us doctors. We obviously aren't giving advice, blah blah blah. But this is a lot of people, dude. Just a lot of clients, a lot of women usually present, and I end up getting these women that have gotten BPD as a
Mhm.
diagnosis from, which is on the screen now.
Yep.
Um, they can really Sometimes I wonder if they're not that though, and they're actual psychopaths because the two can look a lot alike. A lot
It's
alike.
hard to tell. Mom presents an exterior veneer of like perfection.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
an idyllic life. Look at how good my life is. Look at how great my family is. Look
Yeah,
at,
that's her. Yeah, that makes sense.
but there is a lot of just
What was her impulse control like?
um I'd say reactionary. Very she'll do stuff like
Without thinking, short fuse.
not exactly short fuse. She'll do stuff that is like just super violating.
Okay.
And I'm kind of going through stuff like very very insecure, very jealous, very whatever. I found out during our marriage that she would go through. She would wait until I fell asleep at night and go through all my phone.
Huh.
Go through my phone.
Really?
Yeah,
That
and
little trust.
yeah. So you have like all this kind of shady, violating stuff going on that she's doing in secret that I didn't find out about until later.
Was her emotions like real flat and shallow, like fake?
Um,
Or were they real intense and like, was she one of the girls that, we all dated them in high school or knew somebody where dude would call you and be like, dude, man, I had to break up with Sheila. What'd she do? Dude, man, I freaking went over there and she lost it. And I walk in and every picture that we had together, she had cut my damn head out of the photos and then put it back in it with tape. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
what BPD people tend to do. It's kind of stuff like that. So you have to be,
So I'll say she presents like really calm and collected, almost non-emotional. Like if
Right.
and I'll say it this
Right.
way, like and that's kind of like the public persona.
Sure.
Internal,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got you.
internal, totally different. Like if you and I were having a debate and got into a heated argument right here, your emotional level would probably elevate a little bit. Mine would
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
I mean because that's normal.
Shit, me, I'd probably have a coronary. Are you kidding me? I can't even shut up now.
Right. So there's like something weird about the emotional band that doesn't compute, but you'll see cracks occasionally in it where the veneer will kind of shatter, and we can go over what happened in court in the trial.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we may have to do another video.
Yeah,
Because I
that's
told you
totally fine.
I
Because
try to
there's
keep this an hour, and then we'll do another one. It's not a big deal.
um, but anyway, her psyche eval, interesting. It kind of goes along with everything else she's doing.
Oh wait, she got one too.
Oh yeah, the judge ordered both of us to get them.
Okay, that's
Um,
brilliant. All right, what was her psyche eval? I'll be
well,
interested to know.
her psyche eval, one of the
That's
first
great.
things the psychiatrist said was that she had fudged the results to make herself appear better,
Yeah.
which produced an invalid, basically on the fill in the bubble thing.
Right.
The doc could not get a valid
It was inconclusive.
result because she had kind of like skewed things intentionally.
She is a
And
nurse. She knew what she was doing.
well, yeah, but I'm like, you can't even be honest on the psyche eval that you wanted.
Well, yeah, no, because it wasn't about her. It was about you. Remember, you're the bad guy.
Right, exactly. I'm
Yeah.
the person who's sick, not her. But so I'm
Right.
going to fudge the results to make myself look better.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Was she manipulative?
Super.
Okay. Was she?
Super.
I'm reading right off this page. People are gonna think, "Well, dude, you're just reading the damn page."
In
Did she
fact,
have a grandiose sense of self?
100%.
Inflated ego?
100%.
Did she have any ability to empathize, not sympathize? Sympathize is like, if I get beat up, you've been beat up in the past, and you can go, man, I know how that feels. I'm so sorry. But if I have to be careful for YouTube here. God dang it. Even though it's a legal term, if I am sexually brutalized,
Hmm.
but you've never been. Your empathy can go, oh my God, dude, I can't even imagine what it's like. But, you could put yourself in those shoes and go,
Right. You can imagine it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
horrible.
I'll tell you this, and this will.
Because I want
Um,
people to know this stuff. This is what, not only do you have to fight these people, but as a lawyer, you get them. And then you have
oh
to
yeah.
realize, my client's crazy. And how in the hell do I represent them to the best of my ability to
Hmm.
save my license, but also not destroy lives? Because I've never taken the viewpoint of, you'll hear it all the time, I'm just being a zealous advocate for my client. Dude, that doesn't give you the right to destroy lives. And lawyers do it.
Speaking of destroying lives, and this will be a red flag for you, and it's a red flag for everybody who's honest, normal human being. Right after our divorce, she moved in next door to her stepfather and her mother. He had a little rental place that he sold to her at cost. You're getting divorced. Let me help you out. Let me get you set up.
Mm,
Help you, help you, help you, help you. Um, Used this guy for tens of thousands of dollars,
that
and
sounds about right.
we're getting into that
She used him.
manipulation.
Yeah, she used him.
She used him. So at a certain point, okay, he says, okay, no more. You are I've helped you out. You're
Right.
up and running, and we're not going to do this money thing anymore.
Yeah.
Um, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he became this dangerous, abusive alcoholic who was going to hurt her and hurt her mom.
Yeah.
Her and her mom went out and hired the exact same lawyer that she's been using in my custody case.
That's not good.
Torched this guy's life, destroyed it to the point he ended up going and driving himself into a concrete bridge support on the interstate.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and
Did he
so
live?
no, he's gone. He's gone. That's my kid's pawpaw.
Okay.
So some of this stuff,
Damn, I didn't see that
like
coming.
this is what I'm. This is why I take this stuff so seriously, and this is why I get so angry.
It's life and death for a lot of people.
I've had
I don't
I've
get it.
had I've had two, including him. There are two suicides since 2020 that I've experienced with guys just getting their asses handed to
Yeah.
them by vindictive women who really just want to hurt somebody else.
And just so people know, I'm in total agreement, and I know what you mean. I intend to have a woman on here who has gone through the same crap as Clint. So I don't want to
Yeah,
hear any comments or get crap from this goes 50-50, but it unfortunately does lean more towards women causing this. And it's an emotional response where most guys are just like, well, I mean, if I'll just screw her out of the money, and I don't want to pay money. That's usually the guy's issue, and
mhm.
then for the woman, it's more of a emotional response that happens what happened to you. So,
No,
sorry
and
to
I mean,
interrupt. I needed to say that before anybody flips out.
she has done things like tried to turn some of my own family members against me. I
Oh
had my
man.
insurance agency. She contacted a bunch of my clients that she knew to try to get them to cancel their insurance
Oh my God.
with me, and so it
Which
really is
hurts
about.
her. That hurts her.
Yeah,
Because then you
exactly,
can't pay the support. I mean, this is
exactly.
insane.
Well, that's the twisted thing, right? She wants to hurt my ability to earn. She wants to hurt my career. She also wants to try and hold me responsible for not paying all this money,
Right.
right? She wants it both ways, and whether it's totally contrived or she just really doesn't know what she's doing, I don't know the answer to that. But it's like you can't tie my legs together and then tell me to go run a mile.
Yeah, you can't.
You
That's
know,
right. That's a good way to put it.
you either want money or you don't.
Yeah. Now she wanted that, and she wanted to control you and destroy you.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all.
And people don't believe this, and we've talked in the past before, that this this stuff gets freaking asked. And
Oh yeah.
I've had to fire clients even in the middle of a case and say, I'm not filing A, frivolous, B, fake stuff, and I'm damn well not going to contribute to you just getting revenge. We're not in the revenge business. I'm just here to get what you are legally entitled to
Yeah.
have. That's it.
The revenge, the vindictiveness, we'll get to when we get to the actual custody trial, which
That's what
happened
I'm
earlier this
worried
year.
about. I'm worried
Be-
even hearing it. Oh man.
because it was obvious. I mean, if to to be a normal human in that room and not be able to smell it, you just
And unfortunately, there's a lot of non-humans in those. Right, they're aliens. Lizard people.
yeah. I think
It's horrible.
and I've got some stuff. I sent you a link from a Gallup poll, but we'll I want to touch on this because this is public perception of the legal profession,
It
including
sucks.
judges, is not very good.
No. Mm-mm.
And it's for stuff like this.
Yes.
And I think unfortunately the profession itself is doing more to try and protect the veneer
Yes.
than to actually fix the issues.
Yeah.
And what you'll see from that data I sent you is a 20-year steady decline in the public
Wow.
perception of judicial ethics.
Wow.
Um,
No, I didn't seen it yet. So, who did? Do you know who did the study?
it was Gallup. So, I mean, they've been
Yeah, it's
around
a
for a
valid
minute.
poll. It's valid, and I've seen that in 12. Well, I've been in plus law school. I don't know, 17 years. Um, I've seen. I mean, I've seen it. I don't know why people want to go to be a lawyer. They always have these illusions of grandeur, where it's I'm going to save the world, or I'm going. No, you're not. No, no. You're either going to conform, or they're going to get rid of you. Um,
Right.
it, yeah, no, it's bad, and people, yeah, they have a very low viewpoint of a lawyer, and I tell people, even on this channel, I'll tell you, lawyers suck. They
They
just, I mean,
do.
we suck as people in general, and I mean, I'll tell the bar, I mean, we suck. We don't do what we should do, and when we
It's
do it, we screw the people that. God, there was a guy. How old this came? Disbarment Monthly, and it's in reverse, unfortunately. Alabama lawyer.
yeah.
Every month we call it Disbarment Monthly because in the back is all the disciplinary. It's fantastic to read. And people will routinely get hit for being the worst one I've read. A guy was negative 26 cents in his trust account. Suspended him for 90 days.
Wow.
Done. You're suspended. Meaning you can't do shit. You can't even send the client somewhere else. Someone's got to be paid to come in to fix it. So my point being is we don't handle anything right. So people hate us. So this Gallup poll you were saying about the Gallup poll.
Yeah, and I just sent you an email with the link in case you want to include it in the
Yes.
episode description.
Yep.
But here's where we are in 1999. Okay,
Got it.
judges, 53% of people reported that judges have very high levels of ethics. Fast forward 20 years ish, we're down to 39%. And you can see the numbers.
Whoa.
It's been steadily decreasing.
1%, no opinion. Okay, I'm looking at very high, very low. Damn. 2%? Thanks for
Yeah.
high? Ooh. Damn. Wait a minute, I gotta see where's politicians. It has to be on here.
I think they have the divided politicians.
Oh yeah,
into
senators. Yeah, we're the exact same. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Members of Congress is just one lower than us. Wow. Holy moly.
So all that to say, good work for like highlighting some of these issues that people like me are dealing with, because the people know not to trust their government.
Yeah, right. They don't know not to trust the damn lawyers.
Exactly. And so I think that's just really concerning to me, and especially if you look at a situation like mine, where somebody is really just using and abusing the system to play games. And my kids are ultimately being abused by a system that is set up to protect them.
That's correct.
Uh,
Absolutely.
and that's, I don't know. I've always been patriotic until the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Um, and it has really changed. My experience has really soured uh, my thinking in terms of our country and what it's about.
Right.
Because I'm just like, I served in the Navy. I was in a combat zone for months on a submarine, and my my dad was in the National Guard. My stepfather was in Vietnam. My uncle was in the Navy. My grandfather was in World War II. Like, we're I'm an all American family.
So you grew up thinking, hey, these people are
Dude.
here to help,
Yeah.
and
And
they're
you
not.
get in there and you realize what an absolute circus it becomes because of the lawyers who just do whatever they want. And it
Yeah,
really, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I would be embarrassed for any human.
it's embarrassing. I don't even tell people. I try my ass off not to because they either ask for advice I can't give, or they are like, "Oh, okay." It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, great. Another person thinks I'm a shithead. I mean, it
Right.
sucks. I mean, look at this. This is horrible. The highest 14%. The
Yeah.
average 52%. And then I think it says very high, as in, oh, they're fantastic. Two.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Two.
you've got 80% of people are saying, oh, lawyers are average to very low.
Yeah, that's what it says. It's pretty goddamn bad.
And
And then I
I
feel
would,
bad for this 1% that says, nah, I just ain't, I have no opinion. They suck so much.
right. Yeah. Just leave
I
me
mean,
out of it.
you might as well just add it to the negative. I mean, cops have a much higher. I mean, damn. It gets me. As nurses have the highest next to veterinarians, dentists. I mean,
Yep.
wow. Okay. Wow, man. And for anybody, I put it at the bottom of the screen. I do not know how to freaking do a clickable link. That's because I'm a newbie. So hopefully they'll see it at the bottom and be able to cut and paste it. So wow, this is shocking. Damn. Okay. So I don't even know how we got again. I sidetracked you.
Yep.
Where were we? We were talking about how bad lawyers are. Uh, this is why I was going to cut it up into 3 episodes because again, I forget. I get trailed off on stuff because law school destroyed my brain cells. Uh, it
I
had
think it
nothing
does
to
that
do
to a
with bad.
lot of people.
Well, and it was that. It wasn't the large amounts of alcohol. So, although I'm going to keep saying that. We we were talking about the psyche evals, how she had destroyed um, her stepdad's life. With In the end, he took his life, uh,
Mhm.
and then we went from there. And I can't remember why we went to the why lawyers are shit uh, uh, that you
Be,
sent me.
because some of them just exist to destroy people's lives.
Yes, and
It's
that's
like
an absolute fact.
that's a victory for them. If I can just hurt and punish you,
I get more money.
I get more money.
That's correct. That is
And
correct.
that's just how some of them operate, and the system allows it. And
A lot of them in Birmingham do.
yeah, none of it's okay.
No,
None
no,
of it's okay.
and I don't know the fix to it when you have. Well, I mean, the fix ultimately is the people. The legislature itself could fix a lot of it, but they choose not to because a lot of them are lawyers. That's the
Exactly.
problem. That's the problem. It's not good.
Exactly.
And the Supreme Court has advocated its absolute authority. It runs the bar in the state of Alabama. It is the bar. And unfortunately, they've advocated it to the state bar itself. The only time they get involved is after you've been convicted for whatever with the bar as a lawyer. They just
Hmm.
rubber stamp the conviction and say, well, you're disbarred, you're suspended, or whatever. Because God forbid they actually have to do their job and take time to do it. Um,
Yeah.
so this just feeds itself. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, unfortunately. So we'll go back to after the divorce. Um, God, oh, I can't believe her own stepfather. Like, how do you
I
do
don't
it?
know.
She has to be a psychopath. I don't know what else to call that. I mean, like,
The guy was never anything but good to her. Did nothing but help her get set up after the divorce, and like I told you, when he tightened the purse strings and said, "Okay, you're on your own. I'm not going to pay for anything,
right?
pay for all your stuff anymore." Then all of a sudden, the guy's a criminal, and that's just
Does
the
she work?
way. Um, the grandmother,
No, no, your ex.
yeah, she's the nurse.
Okay, I mean, she actually still works though.
Yes,
Okay,
yep,
okay. And she was working at this time when she started all this uh, lies and bullshit about him.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Wow.
um,
Okay. Damn. I hate to
yeah,
hear that. And that was the only grandfather your kids knew, right?
yeah. I mean, they had grown up with him. He was their pawpaw. He loved, like, especially my boys. I mean, I've got two pellet guns that he gave them down in my garage right now that don't ever get used. That is one of the last things he did when they were getting divorced, and he was cleaning out his shed and stuff. He was like, "Hey, I got these two pellet guns. I want the boys to have them." And they're just, another relationship that my kids lost because
This is
somebody
this.
wanted money and property
Yeah.
more than they wanted.
I think that's where you were going with this is we were going to talk about the attorneys involved
Yeah.
and why everybody gets screwed over with this.
Oh
What
yeah.
happened after that in your case timeline?
In my case timeline, so when mom started the stuff with her stepdad, that's when I was like, okay, I got to file something to get my kids out of there because this is not a
Yeah.
healthy environment.
Right.
This is their second divorce in like 2.5 years.
Oh, how long? Y'all were married how long?
17.
Okay, wait a minute. How is it two divorces?
So the divorce between their grandmother and grandfather,
Oh, okay, I got you.
and they
I
live right next door to each other.
got it.
So it's
I got
all the same family unit, all the same cast of characters, all the same people. And
you.
so
Why
that
did they get divorced? Do you know?
money,
That'll do it.
they wanted it and he had
That'll
it
do it.
and wouldn't give it to them.
Damn.
They even, Chris, like when I tell you the premeditation on this, they had the city come out and survey his land, to subdivide the property to decide what part of it they wanted before they ever even started with the abuse allegations.
Yeah, I've that usually doesn't work like they think it will. Property is so unique. Usually, it's got to be the whoever owns the property has to be able to uh, subdivide it at that point. It's not as easy as people think, and I think a lot of people do. I've had cases, where elderly people get taken advantage of, and next thing you know, there's a surveyor coming out.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they tried to do. They didn't really win. The judge ordered that the whole property was sold. Um, but again, it was another nightmare. That case had to go to trial too. Um, Everything has to go to trial. We have to go to trial. We have to go to trial. And like lawyers have just wrecked my kids' lives.
Yeah, yeah.
And the people who get
I'm
led
so
by the
sorry.
nose into doing this stuff really do their children a lot of harm. And I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again. Just and not just in my own kids' lives, but in other kids.
I've
Like
had clients that come in that want that. And then when I didn't provide that, of course, they didn't use me. They went and got whom I
right,
knew they were going to go for. It's like, well, I know who's getting that case because I knew the
right,
lawyers that were doing it. But,
exactly,
you know, that,
exactly. Um, But anyway, look, I know we are getting close to time.
It's all right. If you're cool, I'm cool. Just I
Well,
just
I have got to run do a school
sure.
pickup,
That's okay. We
and
can pick it up later on or next time. Anything you want to leave? This because we're at a pretty decent closing point.
yeah.
With their divorce, and then yours is still going on at the same time, and the kids are God Almighty. Where did they go after they're in this little living quarters or whatever? Did they take over the other home that was on the property, or
No, so mom ended up renovating the rental property that the stepdad that she purchased from the stepdad. And I think it's a pretty nice house. I've never been in there, but she used the equity of the home to roll into that, and used, of course, a lot of his money to do it as well.
yeah? Because I'm sure he didn't change his will or anything.
Well, he updated his will a couple of hours before he drove himself into that
Damn.
bridge support. Um, Again,
Mm.
his family is wrecked. He's got kids that'll never see him or talk to him again, and
All because of money.
all because of money, and just hurting someone just to hurt them.
God, I don't get
Um,
it. That's why I'm
I mean,
doing this. That was the whole point of
exactly,
starting the channel.
exactly. Um, but anyway, I do have to split. I,
Yeah,
I
man.
don't I don't have anything real to leave you with, but we can think about where to pick up next time. I
Yeah,
think the
hey, it's no
actual
problem.
trial would be
I
a
think
good.
that's the best one to start with, because I think it's always the boring stuff. It's not been boring.
Mhm.
At the beginning, I think people are, oh, whatever the trial, the trial. Trials are boring. They suck.
Oh yeah,
They're horrible.
oh yeah,
But that's going to give you or give them a lot more of an insight into what happens and what lawyers do and judges allow that just totally drives the system up, the cost of the system up, and it destroys people's lives. Is
yeah,
how it goes from there. So let's do that. Thank you so much for joining me, man.
yeah.
Uh,
You bet.
Hopefully we can do another video soon. Um, I hated that we didn't get to start on time. I got caught up, but um, I'm going to do the typical exit. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment. Let us know if you've had any issues. Uh, do you have anything you want to tell people where they could contact you? Or, I mean, that's up to you. You don't have to.
I mean, I am generally findable on the internet, Facebook.
No.
If and again, the thing I like to offer people is just help and support. Like if you're going through it,
Is
and
there a
you
group that you're a member of that you can put out for people to go check out on Facebook to
we have one ish. We keep it semi-private just because of the sensitive details internal to
sure,
cases.
sure,
So there's like a little bit of a vetting
sure.
period.
We have to. I
Yeah,
mean, otherwise you don't know who's going to send a spy in. So
but
they can at least reach out to you and start from there.
yeah, absolutely. And you've got my contact info. If you hear about anybody and want to refer them,
Sure,
that
I
always
sure will.
you're
All
okay.
right, man. Well, that'll end it, guys. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me I'm an idiot. I don't care. Tell me you go to hell. Whatever you want to do, just let us know something so that the algorithm is fed because it's a beast. It's a real pain in the butt, to be honest. All right, man. Thank you so much, brother. I'll get this up posted within the hour.
Perfect. Take
Ooh.
care.
All right, roll tide.
Roll Tide.